Okay guys, gals, this is the fourth video in the series, how to build a reloading bench. So, since the last video, I went ahead and I removed all the 2x4s off of the back of the wall. And then what I did is I determined how much height I wanted on my bottom shelf. And I determined how much height I want on my second shelf. So for the first shelf, what I chose was a height where I could just store random, things of choice, such as gunpowder, possibly things of a little more higher than that. So what I did was this. I wanted roughly 17 inches from the bottom of this 2x4 to the shelf. So the goal is you want to have a perfectly level bench top when you're done. So since we took this 2x4 on the last video and we paralleled it to the back 2x4 and it's level, we know everything from there is level. So this is what I did. I cut 4 pieces of 2x4. 1 over here, 2 here, 3 here, and the 4th one behind this front leg. And then what I did is, using 3-inch screws, wood screws, I attached all of them with 2 screws. 1, 2, 1, 2, and the 2 2x4s on the front I also attached. So then what I did is, on the back 2x4, setting it flush on these 2x4s and double checking it so it's perfectly level. Once you verify it's level, then you go ahead and attach it. And I've got 1 screw here and 1 screw here. I still need to put a couple more screws, and that's all I'll need to put in the way of screws. Because the screws are keeping it secure against the wall, but they're not doing the job. The payload is going to be handled by these 2x4s. And what's under these? We got the bottom shelf, the 2x4, and then that bottom 2x4 is resting on concrete. So it's solid and it's going to hold the payload, okay? Then what I did is I went ahead and mounted the front 2x4. Now let's talk about the front 2x4. Let me show you what I'm doing to attach my 2x4s. What I have, let me get this here, I take a 5/16 carriage bolt. I drill the hole through the front leg of the 2x4 and the back 2x4. And what I do is I take the 5/16 carriage bolt. It's 3.5 inches long, and that's my preference. You're going to run it through. Once you run it through, you're going to take a 5/16 lock washer and put it on. And then you're going to take the flat washer and put it on. And then you're going to take your nut and you're going to go ahead and put that on, and you're going to tighten it. Now on the next video I'll show you how I do that, and I'll show you how tight I make that, okay? So just to recap, before you drill a hole here and put it together, you're going to place this 2x4 onto these 2x4s that are mounted on the front legs, and then you're going to drill your hole. Then you're going to run your carriage bolt. You'll put the flat washer, the lock washer, and you're going to crank it down. Don't crank it down too tight. You just want it snugged up. You don't want to crack the wood, okay? So that's the end of the 4th video. The 5th video, I will show you how I put the actually, why don't I just put the shelf on, okay? Okay. Before we do that, let's just see how level this has come out, okay? Just crosswise, I'm going to set that 2x4 on there, and I'm going to take this digital leveler here and I'm going to check it. It's 70 degrees. Hey, I'm 0.3. That's okay, because at the angle I'm measuring it, that's a rough estimation. But let's see what I am this way. Okay, this way, 0.2. That's pretty doggone good. And what am I on the back wall? I'm 0.0 on the back wall. 0.2 on the front. So I'm just right there. And some of that error is due to possibly the slight warp in the 2x4s. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and put the top on here. And what I'll do is I'll put the dirty side down that I've been using for the last couple years. So there we go. And as you see, the shelf is just perfect with the edge of that 2x4. It's really going to come out nice. Now you notice I haven't put my center leg. That's the last thing you want to put on, and when I'm done I'll show you why. So now what I'm going to do is, after this video, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put my screws on after I put a few more screws in this 2x4. But then I'll come along here and I'll go ahead and I'll get this fastened down, and then I'll be ready for the next shelf, and I'll show you how I do that. So that's the end of this video. I'll see you guys and gals on the next video.